Hey guys, just wanted to give a quick warning for this episode. We had some technical issues, some audio issues. You may have seen it over on our Instagram talking about it. But we do have some audio sync problems, so there will be a time where the video and the audio is out of sync. It's not a huge deal, but it is something that's going to happen. We will try to figure it out by this time next week so that it will be, an actual video of worth watching. Yeah, so please enjoy here. It's not going anywhere. We're fine. Just a little bit of a technical issue that we're working to fix. So, peace out. Enjoy the episode. I took a nap. I'm a little low energy. I gotta
Get hype. Get hype.
Good.
It's podcast time.
Hey guys, welcome to Quarter Twins.
Welcome.
The only podcast where 2 quarters make $1.
$1. That's right.
And wouldn't you know it, we really are Quarter Twins.
We really are.
Yeah. So we've had some discussions about this. Well, at least I have at the Easter table.
Oh.
My mother and my grandparents, who you know well.
I know those guys.
We had a little bit of an argument, and I had to defend it. But then ultimately, we figured out that my math and the original math and the entire premise of the show was at risk because I was
We're gonna have to shut this thing down
about how it all worked out. However, and for video listeners, watchers, there will be a nice little screenshot of my text thread with my dad because I'm an editor and I've got it. Yep. You can see that by 23andMe standards,
official
cousins of twins, of identical twins, have twice as much DNA as regular cousins, which is 12.5%. Twice that much is 25%. So looking at it that way, we are 50%, 100% the same. 50%, 0% the same. Which makes us 25%, 100% exactly the same.
That's right.
Now that math does check out. We got the right answer. We just didn't do the correct math. So nothing has changed. We're still Quarter Twins.
Quarter Twins. We're still here. We can still do the podcast. The show can go on.
Yeah, life goes on. We don't have to change our logo or our name or our identity. So that's awesome. We'd also like to quickly thank our listeners.
Thanks.
Our wonderful listeners for listening to the podcast and watching on YouTube.
Thank you.
You guys are great. This has been so much fun. This is episode 4.
It's our 4th. A whole month.
Yeah.
This is a whole
We've
month.
done it for a whole month.
Wow.
And it's been the greatest month of my entire life, single-handedly. No questions asked.
And it's not even close.
It's not even close.
Getting married? Nah. Podcast with my cousin? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The best.
All right. Today's episode is chock full of stuff.
Chock full.
We got things going on. We got the Thor trailer for Love and Thunder. We got Moon Knight episode 4. And we have our special first ever structured review of a movie.
Ooh, structure.
We will be calling it The Good, The Bad, and Jordan.
The funny.
That's right.
Yes.
I came up with that on the spot. Well, no, I came up with on the spot a while ago. We're using it now. But it's cool. We're going to have some structure. We got a Google Doc full of information because we watched the movie a week ago and some of these things I've already forgotten. So it's good to write them down on the day.
That's right.
But we will have a spoiler-free section before we get into the nitty-gritty. So don't be afraid. You can get to that point and then click off if you want to. Or just watch the whole thing and enjoy, Put us on in the background. You don't even have to listen to us.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, just do whatever else you got going on. It'll be
Do
great.
whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
So where do you want to start?
Yeah, that Thor trailer came out on whatever day that was. Wednesday, maybe? No, it was earlier than that. I don't remember what day it came out.
Yeah.
Um,
5-6 days ago, maybe? Not
yeah.
that long.
And it's coming out pretty soon, the movie, and we just got our first trailer.
It's
But
the
yeah,
only one I'll be watching, by the way.
It looks really good.
Yeah,
I wasn't
actually.
super sure what it was gonna be like, what I was gonna think about it, because I saw some of the like concept art and some like leaked like action figure designs, and I was like, of like the Thor's new costume and whatever, and I was like, I don't know about that.
It's more comic booky, right? No?
It is a little bit, yeah. It's very colorful. Well, he has a number of different costumes, and
I suppose.
there's Thor. Jane Foster is Thor also.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Does she go by like She-Thor? Am I correct on that name?
I don't.
Or
there's
is there
She-Hulk. I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
She-Thor is a thing.
I don't. Okay, you're probably right.
She should go by She-Thor.
I don't know.
She-Thor.
Christian Bale is in that movie, right? He's the villain?
Yes, he is. He's the villain.
I didn't see him in the
the
trailer.
God Butcher. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I think Taika Waititi is very good at kind of finding these deeper references in the comics and making a spectacle out of it. We all love Ragnarok.
Great movie.
Or do we? Find out in June.
We'll talk about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Little teaser.
Yeah. I thought it was a cool trailer. Chad May, as I've heard her dubbed on
Chad May.
Natalie Portman.
Chad May.
Yeah, because she's
Oh
built.
my goodness.
She looks good.
She's got some biceps.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm excited to see how that goes. Korg, it seems to be another main character in this movie, kind of following around. We'll see.
He's great.
Yeah. Some
More
good comedy
Korg.
moments for Taika there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Korg content. Please.
So it's a Thor movie by Taika Waititi. One for one, 100% amazing. We'll see how the second one goes, but I'm excited to see it.
When it comes out in July, I think.
July.
Yeah, July.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Speaking of MCU things, 4th episode of Moon Knight dropped not but 2 days ago. And what an episode it was.
Moses.
What a time. He
If
has
you
written here,
guys-
Holy Moses.
Holy Moses. Yeah. That's true. I thought that was kind of funny because Moses was around that time.
Yeah,
roughly.
Egypt and stuff.
Yeah.
Roughly.
If you guys aren't watching Moon Knight, I don't know if we've done a spoiler warning for Moon Knight. We've kind of just been going for it.
Every now and then, yeah.
This is the episode that is like spoilers. So
Yeah.
if you're not caught up, pause the podcast, go watch it,
Go
freak
watch it
out,
right
and then come
now.
right back. And
Yeah. I remember
'Cause-
saying in one of the previous episodes we did that I had heard that the 4th episode of Moon Knight, people were like, oh, the 4th episode's where everything goes crazy and nuts. It's going to blow your mind. And I was like, okay, I've heard
We'll
that
see.
before. And it happened, and stuff goes down for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so
Let's get into it.
Alexander the Great is buried in Ermut's tomb,
Yeah.
which is pretty dope. Good for him. My best guess was King Tut. Because I was trying to figure it out beforehand, because there were, it wouldn't have been any of the other guys, because he was saying like Nefertiti and them, beforehand. So that was cool, because there was like Macedonian on the actual sarcophagus, which was interesting. So shout out to Alexander the Great.
Yeah, so they're picks up where the last one left off, and Layla and Stephen, in this case, are looking for Amit's tomb to get her little statue so that Harrow doesn't get it 1st and release her and destroy the world or whatever. So yeah, they find Amit's tomb, and Stephen opens Alexander the Great's sarcophagus, and like, I thought it was funny Stephen being this like Egypt fanatic and nerd about those things, and he finds this like biggest discovery that that people have been looking for so long, and he has to just like rip its face open and like,
completely
desecrate it entirely.
The greatest discovery in 100 years or something, you know.
He just rips its mouth open and shoves his hand down its throat.
Alexander, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Some very like horror stuff happening in that scene
I was
afterwards.
I was genuinely
Jeez, MCU.
like freaking out a little bit.
Some scary stuff.
Yeah, with the Guardian, there were a couple Guardians, and they're pulling out the horror violins and getting all creepy.
They make the monsters make those kind of like clicking sounds, like echolocation type thing. That's really creepy, and you see some like stabby stab and some guts and some blood happening.
It was pretty gnarly actually.
For some Marvel Disney Plus content, very bloody.
How about Layla in this episode, huh?
Wow,
she really goes
strong
for it.
Female lead.
It was awesome. She takes out the
got some
Guardian.
really good fight scenes.
She has an emotional scene with Harrow talking about her father. There's so much complex dynamic falling in love with a person with DID, and you're like, can he hear me? You know, because like
her and Steven have a little kiss.
Yeah, a little kiss going there. But now it's like, Mark was an accomplice in the murder of her father. And yet she's kind of digging Steven, but Steven has the same body as Mark.
Same body.
So like, how awful is that now that she knows the truth about Mark? Is she going to be like disinterested in Steven because she sees Mark's face every time, or can she get over that?
Yeah.
You know,
that's
pretty
even work?
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
Very strange. Not to mention a possible third personality.
Yes, who we see
lurking in there somewhere.
We see his sarcophagus in a mental ward.
So the first episode of this, the first half of this episode is very like Indiana Jones, like the Mummy type adventure thing in Egypt, looking for artifacts and that sort of thing. And then the second half takes a real hard left turn when Harrow pulls out just a gun and just shoots Mark in the chest, which I didn't expect.
Is that a sin?
Seems a little bit out of character for him to just have a gun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was definitely something I was concerned, or maybe not concerned, but like confused about, because Harrow is like supposed to be this good soul that Armut, I still don't know.
I think it's just Amit.
Sorry.
I could be wrong.
We'll say Amit. That sounds nice. And she is like judging people on their soul before they do a good or bad deed. And he's like the voice of that. But is he really allowed to shoot people? Is that not bad?
Well,
but I guess he shot him in the effort to get her resurrected. So maybe she'll let it slide.
Yeah, he pops him 2 times in the chest. And Mark wakes up. Well, screen goes black, and then it opens on an 4:8 aspect ratio. Is that the right aspect ratio?
That sounds right. Through the flashlight. Amazing transition, by the way. Phenomenal.
Great stuff. And it's this like VHS, like kind of, it looks like a TV show of
Indiana
an
Jones
explorer
knockoff.
named Indiana Jones knockoff named Stephen Grant. And you're like, what the heck is going on? And then Mark wakes up in a wheelchair. He's watching this show. He wakes up in this like mind prison. Basically, it looks like a mental ward.
Yeah.
And
Arkham
he's
Asylum.
there in a wheelchair, and like everybody from the previous episodes, his coworker from the museum is there. There's cupcakes, and there's little just like things from each episode that he's seeing around him, and it was really wild.
Yeah, my jaw was on the floor for the last half of the episode because I was like, oh my gosh. I want to draw a comparison to the show Community.
Oh,
It's a show about a community college. Hijinks ensue. It's hilarious. But there's an episode where the principal, who is a feudal lord at the time, circumstances notwithstanding, he tries to trick the group of the main characters that they are having a group psychosis, and that everything they've experienced at this crazy community college where everybody's crazy and no one is held accountable for any of their actions, none of it's real, right? They're trying to do that. So they bring in a psychologist, and he creates an image for them that they are in a mental ward, a psych ward. And it's just they've created this illusion for themselves. And I immediately thought of that, and I was like, okay, is this some fake illusion that Amit is doing, or Harrow somehow? But then it's like, you get all of these little pieces of the episodes, like you were saying, and it's like, oh my gosh, they really meticulously placed every little bit so that I didn't even remember the cupcakes until you just said it just now.
Cupcakes and the goldfish and stuff like that.
It's all like drawing from his surroundings in this mental hospital. Then now
he's even holding like a little Moon Knight
Yeah.
action figure.
So like, oh my gosh, is this a reliable narrator? Can we actually trust the story we're telling now?
Yeah.
Crazy business.
I mean, you know that it's somebody else doing it to him. Maybe it's this, giant walking hippo that walks through the door. That happened.
Yeah, what? At the end of the episode, Oscar Isaac and Oscar Isaac are standing there, and Hippopotamus just says, hey, like the girl from Sing, the elephant from Sing.
Yeah.
And they just scream. Funny. It was great.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to black.
I meant to look up what that, because there's a hint to it in the very first episode, when Steven is doing like inventory with the museum merchandise. His coworker is like, "Hand me those hippos," and there's like a box of hippo. I'm gonna look that up.
Interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, crazy episode. We got.
I'm sure hundreds of people are googling hippo goddess Egypt.
Hippo god? What is this? Yeah.
The goddess Taweret. Yeah, interesting.
What is
God of fertility
Oh,
and rejuvenation,
lovely stuff.
whose history goes back to approximately 3000 BC.
Well, yeah,
Being
so
a protector of women and families.
that
There you
was
go.
the 4th episode. We have 2 more.
What a time. What do you
And,
think is in store, Joshua?
Dude, I can't say. And that is more exciting than
That's
anything
pretty
that
cool.
it could be. We had grave concerns that this show was going
could
to
all go off the
end
rails.
up being formulaic by the end, and I think it's continued to be creative since then, which is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you just said, it could still go down the rails and be bad. But I have hope that what they have started here will finish and continue to be creative. I kind of genuinely like how little the Moon Knight suit has been used also. That it's
Yeah.
almost more of like a a character story than a superhero story. Big ups. I love that.
That's pretty awesome. We're big fans of character studies.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a good time.
Now,
What else we got going on?
dude, a couple episodes ago, last week, we had reached our 50 listener mark with Anchor. To become official partners with Anchor, and to run ads and be monetized on the podcast. A big goal, a personal goal of mine and potentially of Jordan's as well. To create content for people and to get paid doing it. Now, I will say that we both are doing this for each other and for ourselves because it's fun and it's a good way to keep in touch with each other, and we like doing it. So, regardless of the monetary and fiscal advantage that it may pose to do ads and such, we're going to keep doing the podcast anyway, right? First and foremost, this isn't ending, barring some crazy event. This is going to be here to stay, so no worries, guys. However, earlier today, we got our first ad opportunity from Anchor. So here and now, I'm going to put the ad in. We're going to record it later. We'll figure out, because I have no idea how to do it.
We'll figure it out.
But it's going to be right here.
We're basically doing an ad for Anchor right now.
Probably, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, get paid to do podcast with your cousin.
If you want to do a podcast, do it on Anchor.
Yeah, booyah.
Thanks, Anchor.
Shout out to Anchor. All right.
Woo.
We'll play the ad.
We'll probably get like 75 cents for that. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll split that 50-50.
Okay. All right, and that ad is over now.
It's over.
It's over. It's done.
It happened.
It happened. You heard it. Hopefully you didn't click away or skip over it, because if
don't scrub through.
Yeah. If you're listening to it, then we will get paid money. So that's
right.
awesome.
We got to get that extra 15 cents.
Mm-hmm. So tell your friends, get us to 1,000 listens, and we'll make $10. That's a fact.
Woo.
All right.
That's
Tax.
$5 for each of us.
Not after taxes, of course, but.
Yeah, of course.
Oh. So sorry.
Woo.
We are here today. The main story today is to talk about a movie. What movie is it?
It is the Fantastic Beasts, the third one, whose name escapes me.
The Secrets of
Secrets
Dumbledore.
of Dumbledore is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The Crimes of Dumbledewald and where to find his secrets.
Whoa. The Crimes of Grindeldor. I like that.
It's a really good couple name, like Grindeldor. Or
Dumbledore.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we saw the new Fantastic Beasts movie. It came out last Friday, which was the 15th.
Yep.
And I saw it on Saturday or Sunday, whatever. And we're going to start off spoiler-free for the homies who haven't seen it. And then we'll get into the spoilers here and give our honest review. And we're going to end good, bad, and funny with a new segment called Art or Fart, where we will give an honest review, no scores, because scores are arbitrary. Who really knows?
That's right.
When I did my own Marvel reviews last year, and I should bring those up because those are interesting, I had my own in-depth, convoluted scoring system, and Black Panther ended up being the highest scoring movie, but it is not my favorite Marvel movie.
Oh, good grief.
So I don't know what I did
it's
wrong.
Pretty low on my list, to be honest.
So It scored the highest, but it's not my favorite.
So we just want to
So,
blow past all of that like complicated scoring. We just want to get right to the
Yeah.
point. Is it art or is it fart?
mm-hmm,
It's one of the two. It can't be anywhere in the middle. It's either art or
exactly.
fart.
And we shall
that's
see.
it. So we'll get to that at the end.
Yes. So stay tuned for our final judgment, because our judgment is final and will determine the success of the film going forward.
That's right. Any opinions stated here are stated as objective fact and cannot be used against us in a court of law. That's
They
just
are
the
the
case.
truth
Yeah.
and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Let's hop right in. Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Grindelwald's Dumbledore's Magic Beast.
Yeah. What a movie.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
What would you say, like,
What's to say
what
about
is
it
to say?
without
Wow.
spoilers?
I really enjoyed it. Well, I mean, yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
it was a movie. It was positive. I think it was
Yeah. I saw it twice, and
You've seen it twice already.
I have seen
Go
it
on.
twice, yeah.
Okay.
I saw it once by myself, and then I saw it with Sam and her siblings. So
Nice, very fun.
I didn't get bored.
You didn't get bored. That's a good start to a movie right there. I think
Potentially,
the acting was good.
very good acting.
Yeah, I think
In fact, if you have no interest in Fantastic Beasts, or like if you're not a huge fan, like go for. I mean, it's a fun time. The acting is fantastic.
yeah, genuinely.
Go for that. Really, really good.
Let's see. So as far as the first two movies go, our main man Newt Scamander is
My God.
is a beast tamer, a magical zoologist of sorts, as he says several times in this movie, actually. He hasn't really had anything to do with the fights that have gone on in the past, but this time there is a wizard election of sorts for the new king of wizards.
The president of all wizards. Yes. Which is a thing that may or may not have existed prior. I don't know enough about Harry Potter to know if that was a thing.
I mean, there was like
But
the
it's
Ministry
happening.
of Magic in England, and
Right.
there's other.
There's a ministry in every country, right?
So I think there is like the.
But there is one president over all wizards.
I guess, yeah.
Apparently.
Which doesn't sound
guess.
like it's needed, but whatever.
Whatever.
In this movie, there is a magical beast called the Chilling, and
Chillin'.
and it is
Chillin'
able
like
to
villain.
see the soul of a wizard and judge them.
This may be spoilers. I don't know.
No.
But, well.
I'm only saying it
Doesn't matter.
because it actually gives Newt a reason to be in the movie.
Yes.
Unlike the last two, where he was a magical zoologist, but that fact had no cadence on the actual events of the movies. This time, he knows the deal about the magic beast, and it matters that he is a zoologist.
I was gonna say that I'll give this movie credit for being a Fantastic Beasts movie where a Fantastic Beast is the crux of the plot, which was not the case with the other two. But yeah.
So that was good. We said the acting was good. I love the fantasticalness of it. I think
Fantasticalness.
all of the Harry Potter movies are good at being fantastical, whimsical.
I'd say so.
There are some times when it's a little bit too much ooh ah, and they kind of force it on you. That's whatever. I liked it. It's 2.5 hours long.
It's very long.
And
It's a very long.
I'll
movie.
be honest, it didn't feel like that in the theater to me. I thought it felt like a normal length for a movie. So the pacing, I would say, was better than something like The Batman, which, upon repeat watchings does start to feel like a 3-hour movie.
It feels like a 3-hour
sure.
movie for sure.
So, Spoiler-ish free review. Um, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
If you have seen the other two movies, go ahead and watch it. My
Yeah.
mom liked it. So that's kind of like,
Nice.
that really is my golden rule. Is like, if my mom can watch an action movie and be like, yeah, it was good,
Yeah.
then I'll be like, okay, this is an actual good movie. So, shout out to Mom. We do want you on the
Woo.
podcast eventually, but you don't have a
Yes,
microphone,
both.
so
Both moms.
we'll have to order a snowball for anyone who wants to be on a guest.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not expensive, so
Yeah. Okay.
that was
Spoilers. Spoiler free. Over.
over.
Spoiler
Spoilers
now.
from now on abound.
Abound.
Woo. Welcome to spoiler
Welcome
now.
to good, the bad, and the funny. Which one do you want to start with, Jordan?
Do you want to just do it in that order? Good, bad,
That
funny?
does make sense logistically. All right.
That's how it's written here, so that
The good and the bad and the
helps.
funny. Let's start with the good. I have more to say on the good end than Jordan does, and vice
Yeah, this
versa.
is the first time we took notes in a shared doc. And so yeah, I was like, I think you can probably tell what I think about
There
this
is
movie.
there is something in his bad that's in my good. So we'll have to
Yeah.
have discourse on
Hey
that
man,
here
at least
soon.
at least we don't think exactly the same about every
Yeah.
movie. That wouldn't be very interesting.
We'll
so
that does happen eventually, we are
Yeah,
25%, 100% the same. So, 25% of the
Well,
time we're going to have exactly
25.
the same opinions. This is one of the 75% times. And it really doesn't feel like 25%. It's more like 75% we're the same. Let's begin. I'm going to skip the first one because we can talk about that in more depth here in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
moment. Mads Mikkelsen comes in to replace Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. We've now had 3 Grindelwalds in 3
Yes.
movies. Now you may
a problem.
recall Colin Farrell
I'd say.
played Grindelwald in the first one, and then at the very end of the movie, he was revealed to be Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
So what? Or he wasn't Grindelwald.
He wasn't. He was.
He was pretending to
putting
be
on
someone
a,
else.
Illusion.
Yeah. And then he was revealed to be Grindelwald, who was Johnny Depp.
And then Johnny Depp, the real person, got accused of domestic violence and got fired from his life, basically.
After the second
and the
movie.
movie came out this movie came out like the week of his big trial.
Yeah, it's going on right now.
And I was like,
Still.
it's going on right now. It's pretty
And
wild.
we won't express any opinions on that matter here because whatever.
Whatever.
I don't want to offend anybody either or. But I have my own opinion on that matter. I think Mads Mikkelsen did a great job of playing a more muted Grindelwald. I think he fits
Yeah, he
this
was great.
universe a little bit better.
Yes.
Johnny Depp's Grindelwald is very much like the crazy wizard. He's got the contact lenses. He's got the
Yeah.
bleached hair. He felt
Yeah.
more eccentric than he needed to be. Mads Mikkelsen comes in and plays a much more reserved character, and I think he does a great job.
He should have been.
I was just going to say, I think he is kind of playing the same character as he is in Doctor Strange. If you recall, he was the bad guy in the first Doctor Strange movie, and he plays a very similarly holier than thou, we are saving you, so why are you fighting us kind of a situation. Because Grindelwald wants wizard supremacy. He wants wizards to be the only people. He doesn't want the mixing of magical blood with muggle blood, which, as we know, Hermione is born of 2 muggles, and she's stronger wizard than Harry, who's pure blood. So, like, it isn't a thing. It's not a problem. Regardless, he sees the world that way, and then in Doctor Strange, he's also like, we want to bring Dormammu down to suck everybody into this one ultimate being, because that'll
Yeah.
be better for you guys. Why are you fighting us? And so I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was kind of funny that he ended up. He's like, hey, I bet he thought at one point he was like, wow, I'm just doing this again.
Yeah.
So
He definitely Grindelwald gets much more to do in this
mhm,
movie than Mads Mikkelsen got in Doctor Strange for sure.
that's true.
Yeah, I think he was really, really good as the character. I think he and Jude Law as Dumbledore were really, really good together. Their chemistry was really good. The opening scene is like my favorite scene in the movie, where it's just them having a conversation.
Oh yeah,
And this the acting is just
yeah.
great.
Jude Law
Just two
is
amazing
killing
actors
it.
going crazy. This guy,
My mom
Jude Law.
loves Jude Law, and every time we
Shout
every
out.
time we watch a movie with Jude Law, she says, "I love Jude Law." So every time I see him, I say, "My mom loves Jude Law." So that'll be great when my mom listens to
Yeah.
this in a month when she catches up. Uh, no, she's been good about listening, so that's nice. We love you, mom, and my mom loves Jude Law.
There you go. Come on the podcast, Jude Law.
Yeah, please and thank you.
Please.
Mads Mikkelsen can come too. I'd love to hear his thoughts
Yeah.
on being villains with only one eye. Um, what else do we have here? Aberforth Dumbledore is an actual character. Well, I mean, not to say he wasn't in the main Harry Potter movies. He is Dumbledore's younger brother, older brother. He looks older, probably
I
older.
have no idea.
Wizards are weird. They live forever.
Yeah.
Aberforth Dumbledore is kind of this despondent. That sounds like a good word.
Let's go with
He's
it.
a sort of a recluse wizard that is a.
Mhm.
He's not a fan.
Got a chip on his
he's not
shoulder.
a fan of the wizarding world, especially his brother. He's kind of mad that his brother did some bad stuff in the past, may or may not be directly involved with his sister's death. And also there's the great secret of Dumbledore, which is not really the main thing of this movie, but I guess they named it after the movie, or they named it after the secret, whatever. Ezra Miller's character, who has been in all three movies to this day, is the son of Aberforth.
Somehow still getting work, that guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Got arrested in Hawaii again.
Twice.
Yeah, great guy. Regardless, Ezra Miller is an obscurial in the first movie and appears to explode, if I recall correctly, into a trillion pieces, Voldemort style.
Yeah.
Then appears in the second movie, has nothing to do, and is still in the movie.
He's fine.
And then appears in the third movie, sadder than ever, is still around, dying slowly, being followed around by a phoenix, which is like super sad and actually like kind of a beautiful thing that's happening, regardless of Ezra Miller being like still in these movies. I just kind of liked that the phoenix was following him around. That's kind of a cool magical beast thing. He turns out to be the son of Aberforth. So Aberforth gets like, some lines here and there, but then by the end of the movie, he starts to actually be a character with a bit of an arc, I would say, of coming to love his brother more and getting to have a family again for the first time in a long time, which is something he treasures dearly. So I really liked that for him because he's a grouch in the
he is a grouch.
in the main Harry Potter movies. We talked a little bit about the ministries of magic in the world.
Yes.
I think that J.K. Rowling and all her faults aside, she created a cool story in a genius
Mm-hmm.
world, and it is cool to see that world expanded upon. And I thought with
Yeah.
all the wizard politics and you know, multiple candidates and countries being involved in wizardry, I think these movies
Mm-hmm.
have done a very good job of expanding that world, and I think that that is
Yeah.
something Star Wars should get interested in, um,
Yeah, for sure.
because you know,
Let's just go back to Tatooine for every movie and show every
yeah,
time.
nothing. It doesn't always have to be related to Darth Vader or Tatooine. Let's be
It
real.
doesn't have to be a desert planet.
Yeah,
Do something else, Star
yeah.
Wars. Come
Seriously,
on.
couldn't Rey have been born on like a disgusting swamp instead of a desert? It could have been the same.
Yeah.
Who cares? Um, I care.
Let's not talk about Star Wars.
But yeah, so I think it's cool that they're doing this whole wizarding world, and
Yeah.
like not making it about Harry Potter.
Mhm.
There's still, Dumbledore is in it. Um, and so it's not like we're completely detached. But we have like American wizards and German wizards and Spanish wizards, and I think that that is super cool that we've
Yeah,
expanded the
because it
world and it gives us a lot of opportunities to expand further.
yeah, because it would make sense that there are wizards in every country and not just Europe.
Yeah.
Um, every continent. I mean, um, but yeah, I think the world building is there's a lot of good stuff in there and really compelling um, things that they're doing with the world, for
It's
sure.
awesome,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Um, and we already talked about it in the spoiler-free review, but I thought it was awesome that the Chillin was important, for Newt
Yeah.
to be at the center of it all, finally mattering, was awesome because it kind
Yeah.
of gave him the moment that he deserved after the first two movies kind of led with him but neglected him at the
He
same
just
time.
yeah, especially the second one, Crimes of Grindelwald. He's kind of there and he kind of stands off to the side and is like, I have a beast.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll go do something, and then yeah.
Hmm. But
Um,
yeah, this
but
movie
yeah,
specifically has a ton of instances where his knowledge of magical beasts saves his life, saves his brother's life, and at the
yeah.
end saves the entire wizarding world from going
Hmm.
to war, which a lot of people were kind of gung ho about, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Um, but that's,
Yeah,
you know, that's a different story.
yeah,
You have something
yeah.
here.
The entire cast is really good. Aside from Ezra Miller, um, but he's hardly in it, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. I actually thought, I mean, the fight between Ezra Miller and I don't remember his name, Ezra Miller and Dumbledore
What they
in the
call
street
him?
where Dumbledore,
What is his name?
uh,
Credence.
Credence is his given name, or and like what is it? Aurelius Dumbledore is his
Oh yeah.
birth name. Or
I don't
whatever.
know.
Anyway,
But
but yeah, the fight between them, Dumbledore and Credence, I thought was really cool.
it was very Doctor Strange
Dumbledore,
esque.
yeah, Dumbledore takes him into this kind of mirror dimension type thing. Um, I thought that
It
was
was
dope.
awesome.
I thought it was cool seeing Dumbledore do some cool magic,
Mhm.
as opposed to that. Never mind. You know what? I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it later.
Well, we're talking about the
But yeah,
fights right now. My last good thing on this movie is that I really liked all of the wizard fighting in this movie.
Mhm.
I thought it was very creative. How it was, well, at the very end, you gotta have your standard clash of the lightsabers, just two wands blasting each other,
Pew 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 pew
creating
pew pew
lava,
pew.
which, I mean, if we're being honest, I think it's cool that you have these beams of magic and then there's like this crystal gold lava coming out of it. I think that looks
Yeah,
cool, but I've seen it so many
yeah,
times that it's not like, oh wow, their wands are dueling. And I also kind of thought that that whole wizard wand clash was like because the wands of Harry and Voldemort were linked, that it caused that sort of thing, but maybe that's just when the ghosts of Harry Potter's past come out. Maybe that's when that goes down. I don't know. That may be a completely baseless accusation on my part. So, but in general, I thought the fights in this movie were cool because the wizards were actually skilled as opposed to students or like adults messing with kids. So you have a lot of like spellcast, apparate, throw something at them, move to the side. There's a lot more dynamic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I know that Jordo here does not think the same.
Well, there are some really like creative uses of different spells and that sort of thing. But for me, like it seems like a lot of the like fights, if you just replace the wands with just regular guns, it doesn't change a lot because they're just like pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a lot of that. There are some like I put that guy in a wall, or summon a big fire magic dragon. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But,
that is true. It ends up being a lot of stupefy, I think, or Expelliarmus are the two main combat spells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it's just block, spellcast, block, move to the side.
Yeah. Which maybe that is if wizarding was a real thing, maybe that's how it would go down. I don't know. But I wish there was more creativity to more of the fights. But I think something that goes unnoticed a lot of the times or unmentioned is like the sound design for like all the magic and spells and like the different things that happen is just it's on point. Some really cool sound effects, visual effects.
That is a good point, actually, because there is like whenever there is a creative magical moment, it always sounds good or realistic even.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
And like believable. There are some times where shows really overdo it, and then you're like, okay, it sounds cool, but it doesn't sound real. Like there's no way that thing would make that sound.
Sure.
So
yeah, kind of like in the Batman, where every time a light turns on, it makes like a very loud sound, like just a light bulb igniting. Like they don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come. It's like that's not how lights work. Most of them.
All right, so that was the good.
But yeah,
we've hit the good. You've hit your goods.
Yeah. Just shout out to Eddie Redmayne. I just love him. I love the guy. He's amazing. I want to see him in more things. I kind of feel bad that he's stuck in this franchise. I want him to do other cool things. I want him in a Star Wars movie. Can you be in Star Wars, cool. Eddie? Could you come on a podcast?
When is the next Star Wars movie? What's going on with that?
Never. They're never making another one.
Fine.
They never do.
That's fine.
Yeah. Keep making good Disney Plus shows, as far as
that.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's not like Star Wars is dead. So we've talked about the
what's
good.
The bad?
Let's
bad?
get to the bad. I've already mentioned it, and so have you.
Much to say.
We are not big fans of Ezra Miller still being in the movies. As much as I like him being an instrument for Aberforth to be good in this movie, I don't like that it's him.
Yeah, his character could be compelling, and part of that is I don't like him as an actor or a person, and part of it is just. So here's my overarching negative to this movie and Fantastic Beasts trilogy so far, is I don't think J.K. because these movies are all the screenplays are written by J.K. Rowling. I don't think J.K. Rowling is a good screenwriter, because I think all of the movies suffer significantly from the screenwriting. I think it's evident in things like Tina, who is a main character in the first two movies.
The American
is just
I don't even remember her
Newt's love interest.
Right,
he's in love with her. She's the supporting character to Newt in the other two movies. Not in this movie. written out. She must have said something that pissed J.K. Rowling off and got written out of the movie or something. I don't know. In the last movie, J.K. introduces Nagini as a girl who shapeshifts into a snake.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Ezra Miller's love interest character. Also just doesn't exist.
Not in the third
doesn't
movie.
Exist.
I forgot that
Not in the
that
slightest.
was even a thing. Because Nagini does transform into a old woman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bathilda Bagshot. In
Wow. That was impressive.
episode 7. Do you even call them episodes? It's such a Star Wars thing to say.
I mean, you could,
But, yeah, that's how I reference every movie. They are episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my main, like, in this movie, like, the screenwriting, the way and the last movie specifically, the way characters just appear where the plot is happening for no reason. Like, I don't want to talk too much about the last movie because we're talking about the new movie, but the last movie, one of the last scenes of Crimes of Grindelwald is just all the main characters show up at the same time at the same place, and they all go, "Here's exposition. Here's who I am," and then they're like, "No, you're not that. You're this," and and that sort of thing could work in a book where J.K. Rowling obviously excels at. Is one of the richest women in the world because she wrote one of the most popular
book series of all time.
And that's nothing to shake a stick at. Is that a?
I would say scoff
is
at.
that a phrase? Scoff
or sneeze.
At.
But I like
Sneeze
shake
at.
a stick. I'll use that.
Yeah, I don't know if I came up with that or not, but yeah, that's my main issue with the movie. The Secrets of Dumbledore has sequences like the sequence where Newt goes into that like prison to save his brother. There's like elements of humor, there's elements of horror, there's like all that sort of thing, and it just like the way it's written on the page doesn't translate to screen in a way that makes sense as a viewer, or that it's really jarring is what I'm trying to say. The like he's doing a dance, and then a big scorpion impales a dude, takes him down, eats his body, throws his corpse up, and there's this blood and guts and all this stuff, and like it just it doesn't go together in a cohesive way.
It's like trying to get that shock value in the middle of a humorous break in the movie. And I remember I watched the movie with my parents. My mom specifically brought out that scene in the middle of the movie as supposed to be like this break of sorts, right? We get Theseus back and we're kind of coming back to the main plot. We can get this little B plot, fun little excursion, but then it's like this jarring horror scene by the end. This disgusting scorpion monster, and
horrifying.
The jailer guy even presumably gets horrifically mutilated by this scorpion. And it was just like okay, we're gonna completely dissect this section of the movie to have a fun little jaunt, but it's also terrifying. And then we continue on with the actual movie. So definitely.
And sometimes that can be used to good effect, but I think just the way it was written that it was taken from page to screen just didn't really mesh well. And also just like I just didn't these movies are really dark at times, and like I'm not usually someone who's like, oh, that movie was too dark. But like I don't want to watch a cute little deer magical creature get its throat slit and watch it bleed out and take its last breaths. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. And then I don't want to watch it just get like plopped on the ground like a dead corpse. It
was pretty gnarly out of nowhere.
I have a review on Letterboxd
Oh,
that I found that I think put this into words, but I'll
shout out
find it later.
Letterboxd. We do use that on occasion.
I just, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way, I
Hmm.
think. Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, they could have done that off screen, but I guess it was just to be like, ooh, Grindelwald's bad. But like, we know that. We know that already.
There's characters. Strangely, there are characters that were, main characters in the last two movies that don't show up in this movie, and then there's characters like Kama, who we don't. Who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you in this movie? But he's a main character, and we're just supposed to know who he is and care about him.
Yeah,
And it's like, I just don't know who you are.
Yeah, I have like a
Why are you
very
here?
rough memory of the second movie. And
Mhm.
I know that he and Zoe Kravitz's character are supposed to be descendants of some ancient royal magical
Yeah.
race or family of
Yeah.
some sort. And
But it doesn't matter.
he's still in this third movie, and he could be like, a soldier for Dumbledore, classic Dumbledore's army kind of guy. But he defects to Grindelwald's side, loses his entire memory of his sister, has like 5 lines in the whole movie.
And most of them are him saying, "I'm Yusuf Kama."
Yeah. And then he shows up at the end,
Okay.
and he's the savior, and
I'm still good.
yeah.
Yeah.
What? I don't get it
It's
at all.
so
He's
silly.
such a random addition to this movie. There was no need.
Make Tina that character. Tina was a main character. She has reason because the whole thing with Kama is they're trying to kind of outsmart Grindelwald. So they send Kama so that Grindelwald will think that Dumbledore sent him to spy on him, Grindelwald. So Kama goes there and he's like, Dumbledore sent me here to spy on you. What do you want me to tell him? Like, I'm now betraying Dumbledore to align with you,
Classic.
Grindelwald, to kind of get a few steps ahead of him or whatever. Tina has a real reason to go over to Grindelwald's side because her sister, Queenie, is
there.
a part of his crew,
Yeah.
right? She has an actual reason to want to join that side, to maybe reunite with Queenie, that sort of thing, and kind of ride that fence of, is she going to stay with Grindelwald? Is she going to help Dumbledore? But let's just make it this random guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
I actually like yours a lot better. And if that was in the movie,
I
that
also
would be
have.
cool.
Thanks, man. I also have another little rewrite thing that we can get to towards the
Okay.
end. But,
Yeah. One last bad thing from my end. As much as I liked that the Chillin was important and Newt was important, I thought that the evil election plot was not that exciting.
yeah.
The several fancy dinner scenes in the same
Yeah.
what looked like the same room happened multiple times. I thought
Right.
that was really weird, and kind of boring. And so
Yeah. It reminded me of the Star Wars prequels with all the random politics and is this supposed to be for kids? Are you trying to
Yeah.
make this interesting? Is this fun? Is this what you're going for? I don't know.
Yeah, so whoa, I just I just completely my mind turned off for a second there. I had mentioned in the good that I liked that the political and expansion of the magical world was good. I don't need it to be the main plot. It can kind of happen in the
Yeah.
background, while
Mm-hmm.
Grindelwald is, like he doesn't need to be elected God Wizard or whatever the title
Yeah.
is. He can just form a army,
It's
Voldemort style, and ravage the Muggle world. Guns and tanks and stuff aren't gonna beat giant fire dragon, Avada Kedavra
yeah.
death spell, right?
Right.
So you can just have him do that and be like a terrorist
Yeah.
instead of this like, oh, we got to be sneaky this time because I tried to do the cult
Yeah.
thing last movie. Let's try to go
Yeah.
from disgraced wizard
Is
to immediately the highest prestige. Everybody's on his side. It doesn't really make
yeah.
sense.
It doesn't make sense, and there were multiple scenes where uh, crowds of people are screaming his name, Grindelwald, and then so all supposedly there's a large number of people who want him to be president and declare war on the Muggles. So when the election happens and the fake Chillin chooses Grindelwald, everyone, literally everyone, is like, yeah,
Yeah,
Grindelwald, yeah. Literally there's nobody who's upset about it
just
except for
because
our
the
main
Chillin
characters.
is praising his
Yeah, and
name.
I guess that's the point, is that we're supposed to trust the Chillin or whatever.
Hmm.
But then like they bring out the real Chillin, and um, it walks around, and it when it eventually gets around to one of the other candidates.
Yeah, who's
We don't know anything
yeah.
about her. Bows to her, and everybody is like,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
woo!
go.
And then everybody's like, we're mad at Grindelwald now.
Cause he
We're
lied.
mad at him. Arrest
But
him.
we were ready to kill all the Muggles just a second
Yeah.
ago. They were all on his side. So he definitely has
Yeah.
support in the magical community, and he could have just been like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna 10 rings this, and we're gonna be bad guy, contingency, and
Yeah.
have way more success than he would with his plan in this movie, which ultimately fails."
Right. Yeah, and speaking of that election scene, so we talked about the Chillin a little bit earlier, like, and in a scene where Newt explains to the group, and Jacob, that's his name, right? Jacob, yeah. Speaking of Jacob, Jacob's great. I
We
love
love
him. He's the
Jacob.
best character in the whole trilogy.
Mm.
He's great.
So much fun.
Throughout the entire movie, when new character Lally,
Lally.
Lally the witch, she goes to Jacob and is like, "We need you, Jacob. We need you to beat Grindelwald. We need you, a random human baker. We need you."
Mhm.
And she says that it's because he is pure of heart. Basically, he's a man that should be the example to Muggles everywhere, and that people should aspire to be
Like Jacob.
this like Jacob, this pure of heart guy. And throughout the movie, that's like, this is a theme. Like, people keep telling Jacob, Dumbledore tells him, Newt tells him, "You're so pure of heart.
You're a good man.
Like, we need you. You can help us save save the world, because you are the epitome of what Muggles can be, and show the world that Muggles are good." That's a theme throughout the movie. That's his reason for being in the movie,
Mhm.
because other than that, he has no reason
not really
to be a part of
necessary.
the plot. And then at the end, this is where I thought the movie was going, because it's this whole thing throughout the entire movie. Jacob is so pure of heart. The Chillin bows to people who are pure of heart. So I thought this is where the movie was going.
Mm.
When they bring out the real Chillin, it walks around and it stops and looks at Dumbledore, and it starts to bow, and Dumbledore's like, "No, don't, please no." Which I kind of like that. I feel like that was a nice little thing of Dumbledore being self-aware enough to be like,
This is
"It's not me.
Yeah.
Thanks, but it's not me."
Yeah.
I thought it was good. And then I thought, so Jacob is there, and Grindelwald, when he is chosen by the Chillin. He brings up Jacob to make an example out of him, and he's like, "This
This will be the first.
this is an example. This Muggle wants to marry a witch and pollute our blood, so I'm going to make an example of him and kill him in front of everybody to kind of start this war."
Mm-hmm.
So he's there. The other lady stops him from being killed or whatever. And so I thought that the real Chillin was going to walk over, look at everyone, and stop at Jacob and bow to him because he is pure of heart. And then that shows everyone who supports Grindelwald, oh, Muggles are just like us in a lot of ways. And they have the capability of being even better. And even Muggles are pure of heart enough to lead us, potentially. It doesn't mean they have to elect him president,
Sure.
but it gives the wizard world a reason to side against Grindelwald. But I thought that's where he was going. And then it was just like, this other lady. And Jacob just stands there. And then the movie's over.
Huh.
It's like,
That is
I don't.
that I didn't even think of that, and that is way better than what they did, because neither of
I
the
feel like
other
it is way better,
candidates.
if I can say so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was. But yeah, neither of the candidates that we had, aside from Grindelwald, like I don't.
They weren't characters.
Yeah, they
were
have
just there.
any lines?
They had a couple maybe, but
It was weird. Yeah, so that
Anyway.
I really like that rewrite actually, and I think you should send a letter and
I'll send a letter.
get that
Remake the
fixed,
movie, please.
because that's super cool. Because yeah, they don't even have to elect him.
Yeah.
They could just figure that stuff out later, or have an actual election.
Do we need a magical wizard president of the whole world?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be like having the president of the UN.
Yeah.
No need. But yeah, interesting. Very
Anyway.
interesting.
Those are just things that frustrated me, and maybe not even. They're not even. Some of them might be bad, but those
Yeah.
are just my little gripes. with the
You're a
movie.
little gripes.
But I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it twice.
Yeah. Wow. Look at him.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good
Speaking
stuff.
of
I really enjoyed.
things that are good in sort of a general positive light, we have our third and final category, the funny.
Funny stuff. Funny.
So, I thought, at least for this movie, for the first time, the brother dynamic between Theseus and Newt was maybe not even funny, but like I liked it a lot, especially
Really
in
good, yeah. Really
the
wholesome.
prison scene, seeing how different they were, in terms of like even though I'm assuming they had the same magical upbringing,
Yeah.
but their different personalities. One, Theseus is very straight and narrow, and Newt is like, I'm gonna do what I need to do to live, whatever that may be, rule bending or not. He's gonna do the funny little dance because it works, and then you can see Theseus being very stiff, and he's like, "You're not doing it right."
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Really good. Yeah. And it definitely, like, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, confirmed that for me that I would want these movies to either be fun, Newt goes on little Indiana Jones type adventures with his brother, either that or Grindelwald and Dumbledore have a big magical duel.
Mm-hmm.
They put those things together in one for some reason. That's how J.K. Rowling wanted to tell the story. I just wish, because I love parts of both of those things. I wish it was just more of either of them.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that both have kind of coalesced, vocab word,
Very
and been like added to each other.
Yeah.
At least Newt
It
added
was
to
better in this
Dumbledore's
one for
side.
sure.
But yeah, I totally agree. I think we should have either more Dumbledore focused or more Newt focused.
Mm-hmm.
I think a problem with the Dumbledore focus side is Dumbledore is this secretive character, and
Mm-hmm.
having him be the main character, I feel like would eliminate
Yeah.
some of that secretiveness of him, the
Yeah.
mystery. So they would have to create a secondary main character, in this
Yeah.
case Newt, and you create, there the problem lies. So make it
That's right.
more about Newt, who cares about Dumbledore. Um, Speaking of Newt, Eddie Medrain, Eddie
Eddie
Redmayne.
Vedrin.
Uh,
What a
I
guy.
I love his voice in these movies. I think he's so
Mm-hmm.
goofy. He's got this like
He's a goofy dude.
he's kind of got a little bit of a slouch to him. His like head is
Mm-hmm.
always low, and he talks like this, and the magic, uh, and the
Yeah.
chillin', you know.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
just think
really
it's
like him.
funny. He's got this
Mm-hmm.
interesting cadence to him.
Yeah. Whenever he pulls out one of those fun dance moves, it's a great time. He
Yeah,
does one in the first movie for sure. But,
he's definitely having a lot of fun, which I
yeah.
like a lot. So
Yeah, and they're all given 110%, especially him and like Jacob and Dumbledore. They're all doing their best. It's really good. And yeah, Jacob, I thought Jacob's been the funniest character. Like genuinely, his lines are the funniest most of
yeah,
the time.
he's very self-aware of like
Yeah,
how he feels like us in that situation.
yeah,
He's just like, yeah, okay, magic. Well, I don't know. You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Or like the scene in Hogwarts when he's bragging about his fake wand.
yeah.
He's like,
It's
ah,
so
I
good.
got it for Christmas.
I got it for Christmas. Yeah,
It was funny stuff.
so funny. Really liked it.
Um,
I did think it. I have written about. I thought it was it was funny to me that uh, Bunty takes Newt's case to get it replicated, so that they
Mhm.
can do they can do a shuffle around for to distract Grindelwald's guys. And she says, she says, I need half a dozen of these. So she has the one, and then she wants a half a dozen made. So that's 6 plus 1 is 7.
yes.
But but then there's only 5, so that he only made 4, and there's only 5. And I kept waiting. I was like, the Chillin's not in any of those. They have 2 other people with the 2 cases that are left to make 7, and that's
Yeah.
where the Chillin's gonna be. And then it's just, why are there only 5? It's like
I didn't even count them. That's hilarious.
little things like that. I'm just like, okay,
Like,
all right. But I also
did you
thought she
forget
was
to-
a really.
yeah, go ahead.
I thought Bunty was a good character
Yeah.
addition, and I thought what they did with her, like, she's a main character in like Newt's life, but she's not in the spotlight enough to be noticed by Grindelwald or his
Yeah,
people. So that's why she kind of like slid through the crowd and was able to take the case up and whatever.
the secret
thought-
weapon.
Yeah, they did a good job of being like, Dumbledore has this all planned out and like puts people in specific places to get because he knows they can do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anything else funny? Funny stuff.
Discord. That's what's funny.
Oh. Almost done with
Discord's
the
funny.
episode.
I didn't really have anything else funny, but we can
Yeah.
get to our final piece here. We're gonna try to get the episodes down to an hour, but this episode was just chock full of good stuff, so
Chock full
we
of
had
good
plenty
stuff.
to say. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's get to our final new piece here. Art or fart,
Is
Jordan?
it art or is it fart?
I'd
I
like
want to make
to
like
hear
a
from you.
little. I want to make like a little art or fart theme song. That includes some artful music plus a fart somewhere.
That sounds
I want
awesome.
that to put that in the edit someday.
Please do. You got GarageBand
Yeah, I
and a
do.
guitar.
Yeah, I'll make some fart noises and then we'll be good.
Awesome.
Is it art? Is it fart? Fantastic Beasts. Crimes of where to find his magical beasts and secrets.
Dumbledore.
I'm gonna say it's a big fart for me. I don't think I'm gonna revisit it anytime soon. I think it frustrates me more than anything, so I'm gonna give it a big old fart. Apologies.
fart sound.
Yeah.
I am gonna say it's art.
There you go. There you have it, guys.
We have disagreed for the first
Finally
time. We'll have to
disagreed.
have a tally to
Yeah.
see how many farts, how many arts, how many disagreements on that
Yeah.
front. I think
It's like it's a fart, but it's like a gentle fart that doesn't smell too much. It's just like, you know,
it's the best smelling fart of three
Yeah.
farts.
but it's still a fart. So
Well, I think it's art. Um,
I respect
yeah.
that.
Well, yeah. I kind of felt like that was how it was gonna be because
Yeah.
I have as many goods as you have bads,
Yeah.
and you have as many goods as I have bads. So,
Mm.
but say
Yeah.
la vie.
Lovey, he says.
There you have it, folks, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages.
Yeah.
Fantastic
What's
Beasts
coming up?
and
What's
the
coming up next?
Where to Find the Secrets of Grindelwald. Um,
Great stuff. Great stuff.
what is next?
Oh yeah. Next week we are having our first guest appearance.
Oh,
Shout out to Colton York. He's gonna
Colton
come on the pod.
York.
We're gonna talk in depth about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga video
Our first
game.
video game episode.
Our first video game review.
Get
It's
hyped
gonna be
for
fun.
that.
We're going to talk in depth about that. Colton is going to bring his favorite movie to discuss.
Oh.
And we're going to watch that ahead of time and discuss it with him.
I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna have to figure that out for this weekend.
I think I texted you,
Maybe he did.
but maybe not. Yeah, we'll save that for next week, but yeah, it's going to
So,
be fun.
in the future, if you are interested in coming on the podcast, hit up Jordo over on Instagram at Quarter
Yeah.
Twins. Not his personal
Quarter
Instagram,
Twins.
please and thank you.
If-
I mean, who knows
probably not.
if he cares or not.
It's
But
basically the same.
it'll be easier to see it
Yeah.
on the Quarter Twins Instagram.
Yes.
You can follow us over there on Quarter Twins. We are Quarter
Please do.
Twins. It'll be
Yeah.
you know, Jordan's posting some quality content over there. You can
If
find
you follow us on Instagram, share it with your friends. Because I really just followed everyone I had in my Instagram account.
Mhm.
So our audience is pretty limited to that. But please, if you enjoy this show,
expand
and you have
our
friends that
audience
you think
for us.
if you think would enjoy it, yeah, please expand. Share it with your friends. Tell all.
Yeah, please and thank you. And for the video enthusiasts, you can find us over on
Yes.
YouTube as well. We got face cams. We're looking at each other. We got the angles. You can see our cute faces. My little hand that Jordan gave me.
Yes.
You might get to see Goose from time to time.
From time to time,
No
he
interruptions
made
this
here.
time.
Nope.
Must have been hidden away today.
He is. He's in the bedroom.
Yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We appreciate you very much. We are the Quarter Twins. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Goodbye.